Ole Solskjaer has just finished his press conference ahead of the game against Dirty Leeds tomorrow at 12 PM. A glimpse of what he's had to say on Luke Shaw. He might not be risked for the game tomorrow. If I had my way, he would never wear the Man United shirt again. So I'm glad he's not playing against Dirty Leeds. They'll skin him alive. He's like a lamb to the slaughter, so I'm pleased that he won't be taking part in that game. On Lukaku, he says he expects if any player stays that they give their utmost in the Premier League campaign, and that suggests to me that Romelu Lukaku will be staying at Manchester United. Now, Romelu Lukaku said last week that there's going to be news on him this week. We know he's trained and he's ready to play against Leeds United, and I expect him to do that. I still hope he goes. That doesn't mean, though, that our problems are going to evaporate. We've still got a lot of problems, like when people thought, Fellaini, that's going to solve everything. We got rid of him. The curse, as it's so claimed, has gone, and yet we didn't finish top 4 at the end of the season. And if we kept Fellaini, we would have been in the top 4. So, a same for you top reds to think about in that regard as well. Other than that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed that Fred, Darmian and Henderson will join the squad when it goes to Singapore after, obviously, the game against Dirty Leeds. Now, Darmian's going to go nowhere for me. I think he'll stay. I've never been a fan of his, but if he can't broker a deal with an Italian club and they can't negotiate with them and vice versa, then he's going to stay. Fred is back as well, and Dean Henderson as well. For me, he's not good enough for Manchester United, and that for me is another up in the air comment from there. And he's also said on De Gea's new contract, potentially signing him, hopefully we can agree a deal with De Gea. So it looks like he's going to sign. I have no idea why. For me, it's baffling why he would want to stay. He deserves to win the Premier League. He deserves to win the European Cup. Is he going to do that with us? I don't think he will again. So why he wants to stay is, for me, I thought he would let his contract dwindle and then leave at the end of the season. But he's a great goalkeeper. He's the best goalkeeper in the world. He made loads of mistakes last season. But I'm sure when the season kicks off and hopefully he signs that contract, then when the Premier League starts, we'll see the De Gea of yesteryear. But it wouldn't be surprised if he pulls us out of the mire with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge next season, because he's going to make a lot of saves and he's going to need to be the top of his game to make sure that we don't drop any points, because we don't want to make mistakes, because next season for me is going to be tough. On transfers, he didn't seem confident that we're going to sign anybody. He said if we keep the squad that we have, then we go with that. He also diminished the rumours that Juan Tanzibi is going to go back alone again. That is music to my ears. Some are claiming he's going to go elsewhere. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has just debunked you, hasn't he? And those who say that he's going to go alone, and I think that's fantastic. He's the only player out of the youth team that has the pedigree and will be at Manchester United for the long haul. The rest of them, for me, as I said, will be plying their trade at Scunthorpe. Now, there's been lots of conflicting reports about Harry Maguire. Leicester obviously still want 80-90 million for him, and Maguire wants to go to City or us. And apparently he's in the top 10 bracket of the best centre-backs in Europe. The only club he's good enough to play for is Nottingham Forest, and that's about it. So I'm happy that we're not going to go in for Maguire. We're stupid enough to pay for 80-90 million for him, but I don't think we will. And thank God for that, because I tweeted him a day or so ago. That's how badly I do not want him anywhere near my club. I just said, stay at Leicester. It makes sense. Because if he does sign, I would explode like a volcano. because that is not a signing you make. You know, and people are comparing him to Rio Ferdinand. Well, Sir Alex Ferguson bought Rio Ferdinand, did he not? And he went on to win Premier Leagues and the European Cup. We're not going to do that with Harry Maguire. Sir Alex Ferguson was a genius, and Rio Ferdinand was a much better player than Maguire will ever be. And let's not also forget, Leeds United got to a semi-final of the European Cup. They faced Valencia and they got knocked out over 2 legs, and they finished 4th as well. So Rio had pedigree, and also obviously he played at the World Cup as well and got to the quarter-finals where they lost against Brazil. So thankfully Leicester still standing firm on Maguire. Maguire's not the type of person that will, you know, throw his toys out of the pram and kick up a fuss. If Leicester say he's staying, he'll accept it. And the sooner the top Reds, he is not Manchester United quality, never has been, never will be. And hopefully we don't pay the money for him. And as for Bruno Fernandes, I will say this once and I will say it no more. We are not in any way, shape or form in for Bruno Fernandes. That is fake news. But we all know who is making up these stories about Fernandes. We are not in for him. So forget about it. I'm fed up of people doing videos every single week about it with fake news and there's no credence to it. He'll stay at Sporting Lisbon. It's not going to happen, and the sooner you realise that, the better. Whoever's telling this load of rubbish, don't believe everything you read. It's not going to happen, and you can quote me on that as well.